Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an offender serving a 25-year sentence asking the parole board for mercy. Before prison, he made life miserable for others with crimes against children, domestic violence charges, and an armed robbery where an elderly man was beaten and bloodied. But now that life has thrown in its own twist, a permanent medical condition that's made prison even less comfortable, his family says that's punishment enough and wants him home. Let's see if the board agrees.
All right. Mr. Tolliver, good afternoon. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Yes, my name is Wade Tolliver. My DOC number is 526-114.
Mr. Tolliver, I'm looking for my sheet. I'll just use yours. Yeah. Let me acknowledge your guests. I was looking for the list of your guests. We have Nicole, your mother, Miss Nicole Tolliver, and Sasha Tolliver, your sister, who have joined us by Zoom, who want to speak on your behalf. So we'll call on them at the appropriate time. Mr. Tolliver, you're here today. You submitted an application for clemency. You were sentenced in August 16, 2012 in Lafayette Parish for aggravated burglary. You received a 25-year sentence. You have a parole eligibility date, which is September 24, 2031, and your good time release date is prior to that. It's September 29th, 2030. Does all that sound accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Tolliver, before we hear from your guests that want to speak on your behalf, would you first tell us what led you to jail? Why are you here? What relief are you seeking specifically? And why should we vote in your favor today?
At that time, I was young, dealing with a drug habit, made a lot of bad decisions. And, for my victims, I just want to let them know that I'm really sorry and, I regret everything I've done to be here. And I feel like I'm a disappointment to my family. It's hard for me and to deal with this. I lost a lot of family members since I've been incarcerated. And now I'm dealing with a disease that I got to live with for the rest of my life. I have a colostomy bag attached to my side. And I just want to let the board know that I was young. And I'm looking forward to have a second chance so I could be home. My 13-year-old daughter that I left out there, she was, and I'm truly, just sorry for everything I caused and everything I've done.
All right, thank you, sir. Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Tolliver?
Well, Mr. Tolliver came to us as a medical transfer, and since he's been here, he hasn't had any rule violations. He made it into general population from the infirmary a few months ago. And as far as functioning, no disciplinary issue whatsoever. He has participated in literacy training. I don't think that was accurately reflected on his progress report. And we are working with him to get him in some different classes. He does have a little bit of an intellectual disability, so we're working with him to accommodate his needs and trying to get him into education. He's completed several programs in the past, but like I said, since he's been here, he's been more of a medical concern and hasn't been involved in any programming since he's been here. His medical issue right now is stable. He does have a follow-up appointment in the near future. He has a residence plan to live with his mother and to do some work with one of his family members at a construction company. And depending on what he can do physically. But as far as any issues, he's not any disciplinary problems at Wade whatsoever.
Can you elaborate on his medical condition a little bit, please?
Yes, sir. He came to us as a medical transfer and went into our WRDC status back in November. He came from Bayou Correctional, and he has a disorder, a GI disorder. And it's my understanding, and you can clarify for me, Wade, is that he recently had the colostomy bag in an effort to clear up some issues and an infection that was going on, and they're just now waiting on all of that to heal before they possibly are able to remove that. Is that accurate?
Okay. Thank you, Warden.
And he was at, let me just ask this question, Bayou Dorchi for the, was he enrolled in substance abuse? Can you tell?
No, ma'am, I think he was at Bayou Correctional.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I see it. Thank you. So yeah, my transfer sheet doesn't even show him at Wade. So he's
Right,
new.
but we
You said
did-
since November?
Well, he came here in November as a WRDC, straight from the hospital. I do show that he's completed the living imbalance, and parenting cage or rage all back into, and thinking for a change, all back in 2014 and 15.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, well, let's hear from your family that wants to speak. I think they're all together, so we'll ask whoever wants to speak first. I think you're still on mute. Just introduce yourself and your relationship to
Hi,
Mr.
my
Tolliver,
name
and what would you like us to know?
Hi, my name is Nicole Tolliver. I'm the mother of Wade Allen Tolliver.
Okay, ma'am.
I just wanted y'all to know that I've been missing my son for almost 15 years. I'm dealing with a murder from my sister from 2022. She got murdered, and I've been dealing with him with his colostomy bag and all kind of medical problems that he has. And I just want him to come home so we can take better care of him and spend more time with his daughter, because I've been spending more time with his daughter since he's been gone. And excuse me. And that's all I do is cry almost every day. I try to attend my job every day, but knowing that I have all this building up on me, dealing with all kind of other issues that I've been having and trying to cope with him and dealing with his sickness, that I just want y'all to have mercy for my son so I can take better care of him when he come home.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for, sorry for the loss of your sister and all your trials and tribulations. But thank you for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And can we hear from, is it Saisha? Sasha? I'm sorry if I mispronounce it.
Stacia. Hello, I'm Stacia Tolliver. I am Wade's sister. My brother has been incarcerated for 14 years. He's been gone, missing from the family. He's been in jail. We done lost so much family members. He done lost an aunt, a grandfather. We lost our baby sister to murder. She was murdered. And it's hard that he's not here to even help us cope with it. I really wish that, y'all would have some type of mercy, send him home to us. We can, take better care of him. My brother left in good condition. He coming back with a colostomy bag, dealing with colon cancer. That's something that we want him, we want him to be with family. We want him to feel love and that connection. I can't go another year, another day without my brother. I feel like that I'm gonna lose my brother in jail. And I can't afford that. I didn't lost my baby sister. Me and my sister is all we have left. I deal with my mom every holiday come around. She's crying. She's hurt. All she do is this. She misses her son. We really just want my brother to come home so we can really take care of him.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for speaking with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Tolliver, your case has been assigned to Mrs. Stapleton. Would you answer her questions, please?
Good afternoon, Mr. Tolliver. One of the things that you said, I see that you have participated in a lot of programs. And thank goodness for that we have that in the jail system. Everything. I'm very happy that you used your time to that purpose. But I've got a few questions for you here. You said that if you get a second chance to start over and you'd like to do that as part of the commutation and become a successful person in society. Well, I've been looking over your your criminal history. And if we go back to 2007, I mean, we're talking about chances. You were charged with cruelty to juveniles. That was 2 counts. And that was actually molestation of little girls. And then after that, in 2008, remaining after being forbidden, there's a possibility, was that a domestic violence case, something like that? You weren't supposed to be there? Because later on you do, okay. And then in 2008, resisting officers, transactions involving drug proceeds, Schedule 2 drugs. And then in 2010, domestic abuse battery. In 2010, that's when we get to the offense that we're talking about here, which is attempted second-degree murder is what it was originally. And then it was played down to you have attempted armed robbery, aggravated battery with a dangerous weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, aggravated burglary. And then it was pled guilty to the charge in 2012 and sentenced to 25 years of hard labor. And for the offense. So you've had, according to this, many second chances that have all become revoked because of criminal activity over the years.
Yes, ma'am. I was young and then, didn't understand the purpose of life, but I do now. I see that, that I have a lovely family, a beautiful daughter that's waiting on me, and I just, all those things I did, that I did them, and I just wanted to say that, if I could have taken it all back, and start all over, I could.
Well, the problem is each one of these crimes became progressively more violent until we end up with the one that you're in jail for today. And that was an elderly man in his 70s. And you broke into the, you tricked him into letting you into the motel. And then when you got in there, he told his wife to run. She ran for help. And then you used the pistol to beat him over the face and head with, which could have cost him his life.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you see how, you progressively got more violent and you were demanding money. Do you have anything to say about that?
I was strung out on bad drugs at the time.
And you lost your father.
I lost my father to the cause of everything that happened. That's what led me to be on the drugs more, and like I said, I just wish I could take it all back because they didn't deserve none of the things that I've done to them.
Under the progress report here or the clemency application, it says Wade Tolliver has been under felony supervision 3 times in the past. 2 times of these cases were revoked due to criminal activity and drug use. The 3rd case expired satisfactorily, but it should be noted that Wade Tolliver was incarcerated the entire length of supervision in that case. So your criminal activity, it does speak for itself. I wanted to ask a question at the sentencing. The judge, Judge Castle, she said that unless he had successfully completed both substance abuse and mental health treatment, if he did complete the treatment, she could provide no comment in regards to this investigation. But she wanted that before she could be in favor of a commutation. Has he completed both of those programs? Do y'all know?
Yes, ma'am. He completed Living in Balance, the substance abuse program, and as far as mental health, they're following him basically for the intellectual disability. They don't have him followed routinely or any kind of consistent treatment for psychotropics.
Okay. So you should know that you've got, law enforcement opposition, you've got victim opposition. And I wanted to mention that to you. Does anybody else have any questions?
Any questions?
I have one question. Mr. Tolliver, why did you lose 30 days of good time?
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was for disrespect.
Okay, because I saw you had 0 write-up. That's why I was asking. So it was for number 5 or whatever, 3.
Yes, sir. That's for number 3 back in 2016. He has had 0 write-ups since he's been here at David Wade. He does have a total of 4 from 2013 to 2016. He had 4 write-ups.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Mr. Prater?
Let me ask you, I'm kind of confused. One time, the headboard was shot at the hotel. And the next time, a fella gets hit in the head with a gun. Is that 2 separate incidents?
I don't understand what he said.
Whenever they're reading the record, they said it's indicating that one time a headboard was shot, and then another time someone was hit over the head with a gun. Were those 2 separate instances?
Like, I really don't know about the headboard being shot. I know had something to do with the elderly people. I guess somebody must have used the gun and sold it to me, and that incident occurred to me now because they probably never got caught with it, and I'm not understanding that one. I admit the elderly people, but the headboard being shot, I don't know about that situation.
Okay, one's named Mr. Harris and one's named Mr. Gilcrease. And had a bullet hole
Harris-
board on one of them, and the other one, the fella got beat up with a gun.
I had something to do with the elderly people, but the one with the headboard being shot, no, I wasn't mine. I didn't have anything to do with that. I guess the gun was used before that or after that, and I got a hold to it. But I ain't gonna say I got a hold to it. It was sold to me, and that gun must have been used in another.
June of 2010 was when the headboard was shot. And okay. I don't have anything else, I know.
I don't see any other questions, Mr. Tolliver. I think that the board is prepared to vote. We'll start with Mrs. Stapleton.
Yes, sir. I'm going to deny your request today based upon your extensive violent criminal history with violence against the elderly and the children, law enforcement opposition, victim opposition, and you are a public safety because you have stepped up your violence every time you've been allowed to be on probation.
Prater.
I concur, deny.
Mr. Freeman.
I concur. Very poor supervision history, very bad criminal history, and victim opposition.
I do concur, Mr. Tolliver, based on the criminal history, the opposition that's been expressed in the supervision history. My vote today also is to deny. Good luck to you, sir. Warden, that concludes our business at day. We're going to sign off at 12:46. Thank you.
Thank you.
The request was denied and his sentence stands. After a lifetime of taking, time, safety, and dignity, it's all caught up to him. Obviously, a medical condition is not a punishment, but hey, God doesn't like ugly. His family pleaded for his release, but the parole board wasn't looking at his discomfort. They were looking at his actions. Does suffering ever mean someone should be seen differently? And when they finally face their own pain, after inflicting it on others, does it even matter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.